Hey, good evening, guys. Welcome to tonight's webinar, which we turned around for you guys in just 3 days since last Friday. And haven't listened to me. My voice is actually better. It's not back to 100%, but people can actually understand me. So, welcome to Self Publishing Made Easy. I'm Natasha Denman, and I'm the Ultimate Product Specialist and the creator of the Ultimate 48-Hour Weekend. And next to me, I have Blaze Van Heck. Hey, Blaze.
Hi, Natasha. How are you going?
Great. And she's from Busybird Publishing, who is my awesome publisher for the Ultimate 48-Hour Author Weekend. And the person who actually published my Ninja Couch Marketing book that you can actually see there in the middle of the PowerPoint. But before we get started, and I keep rambling on, let's make sure that you can see our PowerPoint presentation and that you can hear us. So let's get a few hellos. And as you're putting in your hellos, can you what was I going to say? If you hear the dings coming through, that means that more people are coming on this call, and unfortunately we cannot mute those dings, which are actually quite confusing, but that doesn't matter. All right, so thanks, Emily, for saying hey, yes to both. Hey, Justin, we're going to have a great call. Hey, Tamisha, Rosie, Anna, Faye, and Judy, and Andrew. Awesome. And hey, Claire, great to see so many of you on the call. So let's get this night started because there's so many questions that have been emailed through, and this is how it's going to run. I'm the boss, yes. I'm gonna set up the rules. we're gonna go through a whole set of questions that have been put through, and Blaze is gonna take us through a bit of how the self-publishing process works. Give us a bit of an overview, and I want you to hold your questions because what I've noticed since I've been helping a lot of people around their publishing of books and products, there's stacks of questions that come up. Which is a really cool way to find out more information, but especially this topic is a hot topic at the moment. So let's hold the questions until we have that open Q&A, and that way we can, if we have covered already some of the questions, hang on a second, I think something's just disappeared, so let me see if we're still on. Can you guys still hear us? I'm just curious because our screen changed for a second. Hey, Monica, can you just say yes? We can hear you. One person, Justin. I'm not sure if this switched off. Yes. We were gone. Sound gone, lost sound. Are we back now? Can you guys say we're back or not back? Hang on. Let's see. Can't hear anything. Okay. Lost us. All right. Let me see what I can do. Yeah, they've lost us. Okay, let me go here. Audio, I need the audio. Okay, hang on, let me just type in a question to them. Natasha, I have lost sound all of a sudden, maybe it's me. Hey guys, I will ring through phone. Okay, hang on a second. Backup line. Okay, so we'll put them on. Put this on speaker in here.
Welcome to GoToWebinar, Web Events Made Easy.
Hey guys, can you hear us now? We're just ringing through the phone. Can you guys just put yes? Yep. Okay, cool. So we've got you on the speakerphone from the telephone landline, and you will be able to see the slides at your end. So hopefully this is and is it nice, loud and clear? All good? Let's get a few yeses. Excellent. Okay, let's keep going. So we're going to hold off the questions until the Q&A time. We're going to go through a bit of content for you, and that way we can get as many of everything answered for you. So yeah, hold off on actually posting stuff up until I say go. So write your questions on the side, and then when we say go, start posting them in accordance of what obviously we haven't covered as yet. All right, so let me tell you just a very quick overview because we've wasted a little bit of time here, but we're more than happy to stick around and stay for an extra 10 minutes after this call, or as long as it takes to actually answer the questions. Yeah, you happy to do that, please?
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, so my name, for those of you that don't know me on the call, because a few of you do know me, but Natasha Deadman, I've got 3 businesses that I'm currently running. My original business was Ultimate Weight Loss, which I started 3 years and 2 months ago, and that's now been converted into a licensed system that 25 coaches Australia-wide are using. I then have Ultimate Business Edge, which is the brand that you have come under on this particular call, and that's all about assisting business owners in turning their intellectual property into products such as books. You can see that I am a published author of 3 books, a best-selling author, and I've got all the human behavior, mindset, credentials behind me, which actually is that have helped me get to where I am today. But enough about me. Let's get Blaise to introduce herself. So tell us a little bit about you, Blaise. Where do you come from?
Hi, everybody. I actually come from more of a design background, but I now have been, in the last 4 years or so, steering my business into a boutique publisher. So I am essentially a writer and editor and publisher, and I love to help people get their books out into people's hands. I have actually had Busybird for 15 years, and we're bringing out a book that talks about the steps of publishing, and that'll be out in
Awesome, awesome. So that's the book.
Yep.
The book, a nice one, 12 Steps to Successful Publishing. So we've got you live here, so we're pretty lucky to get all of this stuff uncovered here on the call. All right, beautiful. Thanks, Blaise, for your introduction, and we'll give you Blaise's contact details afterwards in case you guys want to contact her and ask her any further questions. All right, so why would you self-publish? Well, I'll give you my 2 cents one, and then Blaise can give us any additional things that she thinks would be beneficial. But definitely for myself, my purpose and for what reason and the intention for publishing my very first book was because nobody knew me from a bar of soap. And what better way of having an awesome business card than a book to say, hey, I'm the author of the 7 Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss, and I help people lose weight. And, you know, that was obviously, my first book came out in 13 months after starting my business. And it was the key thing that actually turned my business around from not making zero to $7,000 in the first 12 months to absolutely 6-figure business and plus nowadays. So becoming a published author has really established me as an expert. It has grown my business exponentially. I get so many opportunities from places that I would have never dreamed of to actually come up to me and say, hey, we want you to speak here and do this and do that. And it has, what I've put down on the bottom of this slide, absolutely built permanency around my business. So what I mean by that is I have something to show for when it comes to the products, and because a lot of the stuff that I do is so intangible, it's so service-based, and to actually give people that sort of opportunity to have products from their coach is a great way to remove buyer's remorse, but as well as, you know, they're proud of, you know, seeing a professional that's actually an author. Definitely. It really puts you in a different pedestal when you say, well, you
I think it actually, for a lot of people, it's a lot of fun to be a published author. I love it when people go through all the work putting a book together and they have a launch, and I see them sitting down signing books. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Well, Blaise organised our launch at the local library here, for the Ninja Business Chicks book, and that was a lot of fun. It was nice. And yeah, as you say, it is a lot of fun. Your first one may feel daunting.
Yeah.
However, once you've done it once, I can tell you I'm addicted. I've already got my next 2 books planned. And I know he'll be publishing them, but yeah, and I've got the fast track process of doing it all, so I don't have to go through it. Just checking in, just one person, if they can write, you can still hear us because the audio on the webinar keeps dropping in and out, but I'm hoping that coming through the phone it's all okay. Just maybe Justin say yes. All good. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you can. Others don't need to post. Oh, just freaking out that we're just talking to ourselves. Cool. Hi, Sarah. Welcome on the call. Excellent, Blaze. Okay, so that is the reasons why we were self-publishing.
Can I say another thing too? The difference between publishing and traditional publishing is when you self-publish, you have complete control over your project. So even though it costs you money, you get your money back very quickly within the I'd say, or even before you even release the book, you can have your money back.
Well, that's what I teach people is actually I get them to get their money back before the book comes out, because we do like a pre-launch campaigns and where we set up different avenues and get their website up early so pre-orders can be taken. You might end up selling the book $5 cheaper than at launch, and that's both my books were paid for that way. So, you know, paying you wasn't really an issue at all. Yeah.
And,
cool.
you get to choose the look and feel of your book, the design, and you don't have to answer to, you know, a big publisher as to how it should look.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's amazing, and this is what you're going to talk to us about. So let's jump into the 3 things we're going to cover off tonight for you guys. Blaze will take us through a bit of an overview of what the self-publishing process is, and then obviously we'll go through an open Q&A. And we'll cover off some of the questions, first of all, that were supplied to us through social media and email. And then we'll talk to you about the Ultimate 48-Hour, also a weekend opportunity that we're teaming up to bring books into reality for people and really help their businesses boost. Because my whole thing is to have a book is something that your business will soar, you know, to new levels. It will take your business to absolute new levels. So let's, I'll put up this slide, the Blaze, but I don't know how correct this is, but can you talk to us a little bit about the self-publishing process?
Okay, well, first of all, you need to have some written material. So you need a book written. So whether that, depending on what sort of book you are going to publish, you just need, you know, say 30 to 40,000 words. Then what you need to check is that the overall book is coherent and that, you know, it makes sense to people and that you are actually saying what you want to say. So by doing that, it's a good idea to get someone to read it, and not just someone in the family or a friend. Get someone who knows you and your business and what you're about, because you want to actually check that it's credible and that, you know, everything reads well and the grammar's good. And then it's worthwhile getting an editor, actually hiring an editor to read over it and make sure that it's all good in that respect.
Yeah.
So once you feel ready to actually start the publishing process, after you've had an editor look at it, then you need to look at your design, what the cover is going to look like, what the book's going to look like on the inside, whether you want, you know, whether it's a copy book or whether it's a novel-looking book, you know, as in just an everyday book. So that's where you sit down with a designer and work out the look and feel of it. Then you send it off to get designed and typeset. Then you'll get to see proofs of what the book will look like, and then you'll send it off to the printer, and then you come back with a book.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty simple.
Yeah, simple for you who's done it so many times, and simple for me who's been through the process. But this is why we're here to mentor people through it and make it as easy as possible. And one thing that I also find that is really valuable is that, you know, just to have the steps in and for someone to tell you what to do, rather than I actually the first time around had to work it all out myself. I didn't then.
Yeah.
So it was a really weird sort of just try to learn as I went along. We had one question here actually, which is what I've just touched on now, but why can't there's a question, why can't I just go online and sign up with a company that does packages, which is actually what I did, and I strongly, I guess, would steer people away from that, because now I get weekly phone calls where they sell me a lot of marketing, which I don't want, because the intention of the book was to give me credibility and expertise, not to sell millions of books, because I never wrote the book to do exactly that. So what's your opinion on that?
I think the other thing is too that a lot of those online places, you don't get the face-to-face contact with people. So when you have a question, quite often you'll send them emails or call them, and it's really hard to actually talk to someone about any problems that you feel you have, or, because a lot of people haven't done this before and they don't know the questions to ask.
Yes.
So when you've got someone that's not face-to-face, that makes it a little bit more daunting.
It is. And I was just dealing through people through emails, and oftentimes things were missing, and I would have to follow up. And lucky I'm a very, pushy person in terms of when it's, paid for a service, I expect to receive everything that I paid for. But some people might even give up on the process, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, not having someone sort of there with them. So thanks for sharing that. Awesome. Is there anything else they need to sort of know, or was that just a general overview of the self-publishing?
That's a very general view, but what I would say is have a really good think about what you want your end product to be. Like go into the library or into bookshops and have a look at other books, and have a look at even little things like, do you want a glossy cover, or what sort of paper, because there's lots of different papers that you can use on the inside of the book. Yeah, those are really particulars that I think I ended up going for a matte cover, because the glossy ones end up having fingerprints on them. But yeah, the paper, something that you actually did for our last book, you actually chose paper that was slightly thick to it, so it makes the book a bit more wholesome. So that was kind of really cool that you gave us that advice that we did. Awesome. So what we're going to do now, because we did want to have Blaze here for lots of questions, we're going to go through some of the open Q&A. So what we'll do is we'll go through some questions that we have here in front of us. There's about 10 or 12 that were sent through earlier, and then you guys can start actually typing them up, and we can start through there. So you're free to start typing them up while we're actually going through our list here. So let's go through the first one. What is the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing? Okay, so traditional publishing is where you go to a publisher like Penguin or Allen & Unwin, and you show them your manuscript, and they may or may not decide to publish it. Now, the problem with that is they get thousands and thousands of books every week, and it may take 6 to 8, even a year, 12 months before they'll get back to you.
Wow.
Now, if you're in a business, you don't want to wait that long.
No, certainly don't. I wanted mine tomorrow.
So the first thing, for a business owner, time is very much a really big issue when you're wanting to self-publish, and that's why a lot of people decide to self-publish, so that they have control over when the book comes out. Yeah. Obviously, if you go down the traditional road, you don't have to pay any money for it. But if you are lucky enough to get a publishing contract, you'll only get 7.5% commission.
Wow.
So every book that's sold, you might get $2. So you have to sell a lot of books to get your money. So that's the main differences. I mean, self-publishing, you get to control everything, and you get to keep all the money at the other end.
And especially if you convert your book into an e-book, you get to have 100% of the profits, and it doesn't cost you anything, which is what I've done with both of our books, and you've done that for us. Cool. So are there any risks?
Well, the only risk is that you might, it will cost you money, obviously, to get the book produced and printed. But if you do it properly, within the first week or two, you should actually get most of that money back.
Cool.
So that's the only risk I can see. Or the other risk is by not doing your homework and producing a book that really doesn't fit what you want.
Yeah, so it's not targeted at your target market and all that. I was doing one of the preparation sessions earlier today for one of our 48-hour authors that is coming away. And, the first thing we had to start off with was the intention and who's the target market, and is this what the target market wants? So that's very, very important to start off with. You said before about an editor. So are you an editor?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because you said you go to an editor and then you go to so I'm like, you are everything, because that's where I came to you, because you were everything.
Well, I'm an editor, but I also have a team of editors.
So George, Cool, awesome. Is there a way to find out if my book is ready to publish?
Yes, you can either talk to me on the phone or any publisher really. You can talk to them about what your book is. You could even get a manuscript assessment done. There's a fee for that, but what you will get is a report back about everything in your book and how it will be received by your target market, and what sort of work it does need, if it needs any.
Yeah, cool, awesome. And there's one here. I already have an idea for the cover. What do I do with this idea?
So that's a matter of talking to a designer.
Yeah.
And having a look at the images that you might want. And obviously, if you already have a good idea, then it's going to be less cost for you when it comes to designing it.
Cool. And there's some questions here from a person who really wanted to be on this call, but she couldn't. So she said, ask them on my behalf. Are there any issues that will arise in the future should a publishing house be interested if it's self-published or other books going forward?
Oh, not at all. No. If anything, this is the tricky thing. Yeah, it's like a stepping stone. Quite often people try to get published by the big traditional publishers, but it's hard to get noticed. So they go and self-publish, and then quite often a big publisher will see their book in the stores, and they will try and poach them and say, can we give you a contract?
Awesome. Yeah, cool. There's some questions around cost per book to order once we've run out of the 100. So the Ultimate 48-Hour Author comes with 100 books weekend. So once we've run out of 100, what's sort of the approximate cost per book? What sort of profit can be made per book? Significant or not much? Well, I think it's pretty good.
It's at least double.
At least double the profit of what it would cost to
print. It just depends on how big your book is. Yeah.
So we couldn't quote exactly because some people's books will be thicker, some will be thinner, but it's definitely a lot more profit than the books that I had to order from overseas where I got them published through the package. So now I've actually employed Blaze to print my first book here in Australia and do it probably, I think it's going to be a third of the cost pretty much. Is this mainly, this particular person wants to ask you, is this mainly for text-based books or can it be on nice paper to include beautiful photos, layouts, so an inspiring coffee table book? So you can do any of those?
You can do anything you like in books. It just depends on what your budget is.
Yeah.
But definitely, if you're going to do a printed book, I would make it the best, and the most beautiful thing that you can, because it's a very tactile thing.
Yeah. Perfect. And the last thing here we have before we get stuck into your questions, guys, is there a standard size of book and how many pages? So before you said somewhere between 30 to 40,000 words.
Well, the average book, which is more like an average business book, is about 30,000 words, but there is no standard.
Yeah.
You can make it. You could have a 10,000 word book.
Yeah.
And you could have images with it, and it would still be a decent book.
Yeah, because Justin, who's on the call, who's going to be a special guest for an interview next Wednesday, he did a 10,000 word book, and it looks really awesome, a fantastic little book, and that was slightly smaller than say your standard size. My books were about one that was 45,000 words, and the other one is 40,000. Just for you, those of you that don't know how many in Word that is. It's about 85 to 90 pages in Word, single spacing, just so when you convert it, it ends up being about 150 pages in the actual book, so you guys know. All right, so let's get stuck in some of these questions that you guys have typed up for us here. Okay, so Karina says, Natasha, would you be able to share with who printed your book? So as I said, overseas they printed my original book, but now I'm going to get it printed locally through Blaze. Luckily, they've supplied me with the CD of the actual book, so she says we can get it done here. And I'm not sure, I guess, Blaze, you use certain printers.
Oh, there's so many good printers in Australia, and most of them are more than happy to give you quotes. The main book printer in Australia is McPherson's Printing.
Cool, yeah, thank you. Kelly says, hi ladies, I'm looking at having quite a lot of diagrams and pics throughout my book. Does this change much about the process price? Not at all.
Not really.
No, not at all. We're happy to, have a book like that. Kelly, I'm going to be talking to you tomorrow. I look forward to it. Another question. Kelly says, what does it cost to publish a book roughly?
Oh, well, it does. It really depends on the book. Every book is so different. So that's really hard. It depends on what you need. What you need done.
To quote.
Yeah. I'd have to talk to you because it depends on whether you want editing, whether you want proofreading and design and layout, and how big the book is. There's so many variables.
Yeah, definitely. Like, just to give you a ballpark of what the cost, look, somewhere $3,000 to $4,000.
Yeah.
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 100 books at $30 probably cover that. Yeah, awesome. All right, next question, Sue. Where do you recommend that we go to do a short print run? So,
or any of those printers are good. McPherson's is one. There's a place called Griffin Press in South Australia. They're really good as well.
I think I've heard of them. Yeah, but I just go and say to Blaze, get me some more books because it's a lot easier that way. Monica says, hey, Natasha and Blaze, what are the pitfalls or things to avoid, or example plagiarizing when writing guides based on theoretical frameworks?
Well, this is where an editor is very helpful, because when someone reads your book, they will actually highlight any areas they think you might have trouble with copyright. And if you're using anyone else's work, you absolutely must get their permission, otherwise you'll be sued. Yeah. And it's always the author's responsibility, not the publisher.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, so to make there is, and I think when you read ours, that's something that you had to ensure that they'll, and it's good that you can tell people ahead of time, hey, what's going on here. Pull yourself back. Rosie, okay, if you self-publish, how do you get your book in shops?
Okay. The easiest way to do that is to get a distributor. The main distributor in Australia is called Dennis Jones, and it's just a matter of sending a copy of your book with an application and see if they will actually take it on for you.
So a distributor.
Yes.
Dennis Jones.
Yes.
I'm writing that down for myself. I'm learning lots of stuff here as we go along as well, because a lot of people who come to talk to me about the weekend, they will have self-publishing questions, so this is really cool. Thank you so much. Justin, what's the best way to sell your book online? Online, a distributor? Great girl. Great work, girl. Smashing it. Thanks, Justin. What's the best way to sell your book, do you reckon?
Well, you can go with a distributor. That's one way. If you have a website, you could definitely do it via your website. And if you have an ebook, you can go via Amazon.
Yeah,
they're the main ones.
Yeah. My book is part of Amazon, the very first one, and I'm looking at putting the Ninja one as well as an ebook through Kindle. But yeah, online. There's so many different ways you can market your book, whether it be sometimes through social media, you might run promotions, through, you bundle it up in your packages, you can take it to events. There's just many different ways. My whole intention has always been never to make money from my books. I use them as an amazing additional value add and bundle it up in everything that I do. So everyone that works with me ends up getting all my books and all that sort of stuff. So cool. Judy, if a book is fairly thin in spine as A4, would it be better to make it B6 or A5 so spine and title more visible on shelves of bookstore?
Either B6 or A5 is fine. You wouldn't really have a book as an A4 size because it's more like a manual then. So definitely I would make a smaller size. And if you find that the number of pages doesn't make it a substantial book, you can use slightly thicker paper, as Natasha was saying before. You can kind of plump it up. And you can also use different size fonts and different design within the book to spread the pages out more too.
Yeah. So that's a good idea. But yeah, you'd want it to look sort of substantial when it brings out. Justin, how do you go about designing the cover?
Okay, well it's very much a different scenario for every book.
Yep.
So we talk to the author about what their intention of the book is, what the look and feel they would like at the end, and then we go off and we might do a couple of different variations for them.
Yeah, awesome. Rosie's just asking, is there a document template you could use to obtain permission to use quotes from people that have verbally said yes? Template.
Not really. I mean, even these days, even just an email is fine. If you have permission to an email where you ask them, can I intend to use this in, or these words in my book, is that okay? And if they say yes, that's a good enough document to use as proof.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And email is so legally binding nowadays. Yep. Even with my agreements, I get people to just agree to the agreement via email, and I'll just keep that in a file. So anything that you gain an agreement over an email, you don't have to actually have the signature nowadays. So that's really cool to remember for other stuff, guys. I think we had this one. Justin says, how do you get an ISBN number and what is it?
Okay, an ISBN number is really important, especially if you're...
Justin, you should know this, but I know you're asking it for the benefit of other people.
If you want to get your book into bookshops, you have to have an ISBN. It's called International Standard Book Number, and you pay for it through a company called Bowker Link. And once you have that number, it's a little book. It's a little number that's on the back cover of your book with the barcode. And when you publish the book, 2 copies go to the library. One goes to the National Library and one to the State Library. So it means that your book is actually archived forever.
Cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And I think you also helped us get our book in the library catalogue and all that sort of stuff, which is part of what that weekend also offers as part of the deal. Awesome. So Judy's got a question. Thanks so much for that info on book size. Also, can you tell us a bit more about Amazon as distributors? What is modus operandi?
I don't actually know what that is.
I think, but how does it work?
Okay. Well, the first thing to know about Amazon is that you actually have to obtain, you have to actually register with Amazon as an external, I can't remember what it's called, but you actually have to apply for a tax form from them, because we're actually not in America, so we won't be you don't want to be paying taxes. So you have to actually go to the American IRS and obtain those things, because otherwise they will keep the tax, or they'll make you pay the American taxes. Yeah, that's something very important. But other than that, it's all fairly straightforward. You just go onto their website and you follow all their
Yeah, that's it. That Justin just being mucking around, keeping the questions coming, laugh out loud. And Rosie's saying 10-5 or something about, I think, because you couldn't remember the name. Leah says, can you type that ISBN register name in, please? I didn't understand what you said.
Okay.
Who is it?
Thought, T-H-O.
Yeah.
R-P-E.
Yeah.
Next word, Bowker, B-O-W.
Yeah.
K-E-R. If you just Google that, it'll come up.
Awesome. All right, come on, we've got to the last. Keep them coming. I kept a couple of spare ones from before. So, is publishing hard to do, Blaze?
I don't think so. I think the main thing to think about is what you want to do with the book at the other end. If you're just doing it, I would always advise people, don't publish a book just because you want to make money.
Yeah.
Because really, selling the book is the hardest part of it. So if you're just doing it for that, then you're just making hard work for yourself.
Cool. Justin is saying, has Blaze ever helped anyone with a book that sold a heap of copies besides Confessions of a Lost Youth?
Well, we don't know how many that sold yet, do we?
No, it just came out last week. So have you had someone really awesome, really awesome with their book?
Well, most people that I help most people they help do pretty awesome straight away, and they're always surprised how quickly they make their money back. So that makes them happy. Because
I was very happy when I did that. Yeah. Because you fork out a few $1,000s, and you kind of it can be a big, especially if you're new in business. It is a huge expense. It was the biggest thing I've ever invested money on when it came to, aside from my education. But it was like, how will it turn out? And earning your money back very quickly or in pre-launch is an amazing way. And that's why I always say to people, don't worry, you're going to do it because I've done it twice. I know how to do it. I know how to teach you how to do it. Awesome. Misha says, would you suggest putting you on the front cover, especially if you're promoting yourself and your brand?
It does depend on what sort of business you have. You know, if your business is public speaking or mentoring or coaching, then yes, I probably would put myself on the front. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I did with my first book. I was 30 weeks pregnant, guys, and I had the photographer come over and my face was all puffy, and, you know, my first book was The 7 Ultimate Secrets to Weight Loss. And I go, oh, my God, it's the weight loss book. You've got to make me look, you know, normal because I was really pregnant. So, like, I've got the tummy hiding underneath, but we've got the right angle, so I actually do look non-pregnant in it. So yeah, I would say, yeah, as you said, like a coach or something like that, it's good to have one. But then the subsequent books have been all sorts of different covers, really. Yeah. There's one funny question here. It feels vain to have a book launch. Do I need to have one?
Oh, this has happened to me a few times where someone's put all this work into writing a book and they've gotten all excited, and then they've talked to people and they've sort of, you know, cut them down as if they're being vain, even publishing a book in the first place.
Like, who do you think you are? I know.
Yeah. So then they think, oh, maybe I won't have a launch because it looks really vain. And I say, well, just think of it differently. Just have it as a celebration with, you know, family and friends that you've put all this work into a book and you want to celebrate it.
Yeah.
You know, because a launch is really important. Because you have to celebrate what you did, but it's also a chance for you to sell lots of books as well.
Exactly, and yeah, having a huge party is just a bonus fun thing to do. And and I just think the whole way through, as you're going through the publishing process, it can be so much fun sharing it with people, especially around the social media channels that we have nowadays. That people can encourage you as you're finishing it up. And I mean, I took people through the whole journey. From start to finish. It took me 12 weeks while I was writing the first book, and at the end it was so rewarding, and yeah, totally not saying. And you know what? Forget about other people. Don't listen to the outside voices. It's only their issues that they're bringing forward. It's nothing to do with you. So, all right. Well, heaps more questions have come through. You just said, laugh out loud, you don't look preggers on that cover. Well, I was 30 weeks. Emily says, any ideas on topics to write a book about, or is it more a personal thing?
Well, it depends. If it's something to do with your business, then it needs to be a topic or you know, expertise in your book, in your business that you want to showcase. Yeah, absolutely. And like Emily, if you're not sure, I certainly help people uncover what is their niche. What do people go to them for expertise for, and how can we provide that as a solution to a problem? Because I believe with business-related books, we want to be solving a specific problem, something people want, and making it really sexy. So that's where my skills come in. Judy's got one more question. She goes, just one more question. I'm producing a second edition of a book. Do you need a different ISBN? Not much difference from previous publication, but quite a few graphs included this time around. If you have made changes, then yes, a new ISBN. Definitely.
Cool. All right.
And if you're producing an ebook, you need a separate ISBN as well.
Yeah. So there is a little bit extra cost when it comes to an ebook, guys. Yeah. Justin, do you have to worry about people taking legal action against you, especially in self-help or information books? How do you protect yourself against that?
Okay. Well, usually you need to put a disclaimer in the front of the book for a start.
Justin, you've got one of those, remember?
And if you're unsure about some of the content, then I would actually seek legal advice.
Yeah, absolutely. Disclaimers rule. Rosie said, here. Sarah, are there any hard and fast rules as to what you can and can't write? Example, if you were to use similar formulas or resources from other gurus, is there any particular format to writing a book that sells better than others?
Not particularly. When it comes to using other people's work, again, you have to be
quote
careful.
Them.
Yeah, if you're going to quote them, you really have to get permission. if you're not going to quote them but you want to use your formula, then you have to be very careful how you do it, because if it's recognisable from someone else, even if you haven't used their words, they can actually sue you.
Yeah.
It's harder for them to sue you, but they may try.
Yeah, exactly. And there was, is there any particular format to writing a book that sells better than others? Sarah, we will be going through this together. So yes, there is a format and way to make your book really marketable and sexy, and that's what we'll be doing together. So because Sarah and I started working today, it was very exciting. Kelly just said, look forward to speaking with you tomorrow, Natasha. Many thanks. Was wonderful, wonderful webinar. Excited, very good. We're excited. Sarah just, okay, cool. Emily, I'm curious about Justin's book now. Yeah, totally, everyone. You got to get Justin's book. Come on board on the next, I think next Wednesday at 7 p.m. we'll be running an interview with Justin, and you're just going to have the biggest, whole lot of fun, but you're going to learn a lot of stuff from a guy who was the most unlikely guy to, I guess, make it out there in the business world, and especially write a book. And he's just said, when would you do your book in hardcover instead of a soft cover, or is it a waste of money?
Yes, I think it's a waste of money. The only time I would ever do a hardcover is if you were writing a novel and you just wanted it to bring out a special edition. A lot of people don't want to carry around a hardcover, and it's very expensive.
Yeah. And I think I've only got one ever, and it was because of that package that they gave me. All right, I'll answer one more question, so keep them coming, and because we do want to go into the third part of the evening, and that is to tell you about the ultimate 48-hour Author Weekend, because there are only 5 out of the 10 spots that are left. So there's a couple of people that came on board over the last couple of days. So let me answer Leah's question. If I write about real life examples of, say, relationships I've had with people currently in my life, and those that have been in my past, even if I have changed their names, can they still sue me for defamation of character or anything like that? That's a good one.
They can if other people can recognise them from your story.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you do have to be careful.
Uh-huh. Okay. So that's a really good one.
Or ask permission from them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good question, Leah. Thanks for asking that. Awesome. So let us spend 5 or so minutes telling you about the ultimate 48-hour Author Weekend, and then we'll jump back into Q&A to finish off. So while we're sort of chatting to you about this, do put up any further questions that we haven't covered off, but you guys are doing awesome. So here it is, the ultimate 48-hour Author Weekend happening Friday 11th of October to Sunday is 13th of October. In 48 hours, 10 people will become 100% guaranteed authors, because this package includes absolutely everything. Now, I do apologise for this table being little, but that's just how I could fit it in. So I'll attach it to the email that's going to have these slides as well as the recording of this particular call, because for those that missed it, obviously we'll get an opportunity to have a listen to the Q&A, as well as you guys can have a bigger size copy here. So what's the 48-hour Author Weekend about? Well, earlier this year in January, Donna and I went away on a weekend in a beautiful setting in Victoria and wrote the Ninja Couch Marketing book, and subsequently Blaze published it for us, which took from word go 76 days. Now that's a very short amount of time when you compare it to the amount of time that a normal publisher would take. And it took me 6 months with my first book, so this took less than 3 months, 2.5 months it took. So I'm giving the opportunity for 10 people to become 100% published authors. So at the bottom it says 6 spots, so make that 5 spots remain, because someone came on board like 2 hours ago. The weekend, so the way I've designed this table is I actually wanted to take you guys on a journey as to what would happen leading up and following the weekend. So I'll talk you through it. So before the weekend, and the cutoff date for all of this is 15th of August, because I am going to frolic through Europe all of September. So I've got to get everyone pre-prepared before the 31st of August. So that's why I have to have final numbers by the 15th. We do a 2-hour pre-weekend planning session where we make the sexy outline, the sexy name, we plan out, we unpack the whole book, and I'll give you a checklist of things to do, which will take only a few hours leading up to the event to complete. Then, as I said, there's a checklist on the next step. You get the 48-hour weekend, obviously training and support with all mentors, food, accommodation somewhere here in Victoria. So we have people from interstate coming down, flying down. You get other checklists and guides up to the publishing handover that you need to ensure, like collecting of testimonials and your pre-launch campaign, how to go about it, what dates to do it, and what to set up. We do set up so we obviously set up the pre-launch campaign. We organise the transcription for your recorded book, because how are you going to do it in 48 hours? You're not going to slave over the computer. You're going to actually speak out your book, and we're going to get that transcribed by someone, so we're paying for that as well for you. Then we've got the book cover design with the 3D widgets for promotion that we get put together for you. We set you up a basic website, so Donna will be organising the basic website with domains so you can pre-sell and post-sell your book, so you have a separate website for that. You get laser mentoring until the book is released by me. So in addition to the 2 hours beforehand, you get as many conversations as needed to make sure that everything is been answered and is going smoothly. Then Blaze will provide us with the publishing package, which is already paid for within this particular full price. So she'll edit, format, layout, proofread, and give you the ISBN number and 100 copies of your paperback, which we'll organise through her. And then we'll set up a webinar just like this, so you can actually promote and exploit your book sales to build, not just to sell books, but also build your list, which could eventuate with in a lot bigger business than before. Your book will be also in a library catalogue, as we said before. So we've got 3 bonuses for the weekend. You get the product generator manual, so one of my programs that I have written and put together, you get that manual on the weekend, as well as the Ninja Couch Marketing Paperback, which will teach you all the strategies you can do from your couch to actually market your book. And then you're going to get the 12 Ninja Stars to Business Explosion e-course. We did this course live here at my place for 6 people back in January with Donna, and there's 10 hours of edited video that actually not only helps you sell your book, but it actually helps you grow your business and various areas of your business and what to do and what to implement. So that one is just priceless right there. So the full package is valued at $15,455, and your investment, not including GST, is $6,997. So what I said the other night on the call, actually packages like these out there have been known to go for $25,000, and this is real. And have you heard of that too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the pilot weekend, so that is why I'm keeping the cost there. I'm planning to run this quarterly throughout every year. However, the price probably will be somewhere $10,000 or plus $1,000, because the mentoring is invaluable in this. And I've given you like another line here of how would the payback into your business with all the things that you get and the benefits of that. So I have broken down some payment options because I know $7,000 is a lot of money to pass with all of a sudden. To secure a seat, $500 non-refundable deposit must be made by the 15th of August. So we can organise a 2-hour pre-mentoring session and preparation session. $4,000 must be paid up once the book is at the publisher for 1 month. So once we've handed it over to Blaze, because we're going to have to pay her, approximately that would be, say, late December, $4,000 needs to be paid up. So if you were to pay $875 September, October, November, and December, that would get you there. And then I'm happy to have the balance paid off over 6 months in 2014, which would make it $620 per month for 6 months. So that's the breakdown of the costs, unless if you can pay up front, yes, thank you very much. But how you can qualify for this, because not everyone can do this, because not everyone has got the content ready in their head to speak out. You do need to attend the strategy interview. There's a few of you booked in with me this week. So this takes 30 minutes, and there is an investment of $17 because we only want serious that are ready to become published authors. Why also the investment is because I give you so many ideas in that half an hour in terms of, like Emily said before, unlocking the topic of your book. So I'll give you personalised ideas to what your niche is, what your target market is, ideas of how you can pay off your package through your pre-sales, and definitely obviously to discover if you have what it takes to do it in 48 hours. So my intention behind all of this is 3% of people who ever invest in any publishing or book courses that teach you how to write a book or become an author within whatever 8 weeks or however they do it, only 3% of people actually do it. So why did I do this weekend is because I actually want 100% success rate. And how I've made it how I believe it's going to happen is because I'm giving absolutely everything from word go to finish, from all the mentoring to all the publishing to all the books and all of that sort of stuff. So what you need to do is text me your name and the web strategy interview, and I'll get back to you after the call or later tonight, or email me at coach@ultimateweightloss.com.au, because there are international listeners often on my webinars. So I thought I'd put that up there, and then we'll organise that, and I'm very confident by the 15th we'll have our 10. So 5 are left. So that's pretty much what you guys need to know. Now I'm going to flash up on the screen the Blazer's contact details, so you can take them down at your end, but they'll also come in the email anyway afterwards with the PowerPoint. But I'll just have a look at what other questions have come up. Justin just tells all of you guys, tell everybody from Justin, just think about it, and that's in capitalized letters. Just do it. Wow, a self-made author in 24 hours. He goes, it took me over 5 months to do mine. These girls know their stuff, you won't go wrong. Thanks, Justin, that's a nice testimonial. So let's see what other questions you guys have. We have about 8 or so minutes to go, otherwise I'll add some more value for you. Here we go, Sharon goes, can we use quotes when we attribute them properly without asking?
No, you can't.
No, you can't. Flat out, no, you can't. There you go. So what does that? So can you use those when we attribute them? So hang on.
It depends what sort of quotes you mean.
Like, you know, when you put the person's name. So let's say Thomas Edison says,
yes.
So yes. What did you mean?
If you're quoting from someone from, you know, a talk they've done or from their book or something, then you do need permission.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But an actual, like, inspirational quote is okay to have. Yeah. Oh, okay, yes. Sharon said, yes, famous people. Yeah, cool. It's good that we clarified that, because I was just thinking for a second, oh, my God, I got that at the start of every chapter in my weight loss book, and I thought, oh, did I do something wrong there? Emily said, can I write a book on sleeping?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? What could you teach people about sleeping? Maybe how to cure insomnia. That would be a really good one.
It would.
There you go, Emily. You can cure insomnia through your book. If you're a very good sleeper, you can teach people all the strategies how to fall asleep and nod off. Okay, what else? She goes, haha, I'm good at that. Anything else that we've missed, Blaze?
I don't know. I think the main thing is to think of your book as like a business project. Yeah. And then you see the big picture. Yeah. Have a really good idea of what you want it to be at the end, so that when you go through the steps, then you actually end up with what you want. Yeah. And that's a good idea. That actually prompted me to tell you guys how I did it in the first book, because obviously the first one is the hardest, and we're fast-tracking the process through the 48-hour weekend for people who are ready. Obviously not everyone's ready to do this because it's quite intense. But what I did is I set a goal back in 2011, January, because it was my New Year's kind of goal. And I said in 90 days that I'd have a 90-page book in Word. And as I said to you before, 90 pages is about the size of the book that it needs to be. I had no idea that this was actually the size of the book that it needs to be. It was kind of maybe something intuitive that was happening within me. But yeah, I set myself a goal, and then I said, well, 90 pages in 90 days. Who can't write a page a day? You know, and then I said, well, I'm not going to sit down and write just one page every day. So I then broke it down. Well, I need to write about 3 pages twice a week, 3.5 pages. And then I booked in my diary times with myself. So just like I would have bookings with my clients, I would make a book writing time, so 2 hours twice a week. And then I would set that as a weekly goal. So then I'd go and tick it off and tick it off and tick it off. And in 80 days, it was actually done. So if you're thinking, how could I get this done, and chunk it right down and make it more, you know, sort of not as daunting a task, because a lot of people can feel that the task is super daunting, yeah? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There's a couple of comments. Justin says, Natasha, tell everybody that Blazing and Busybird really helped me as well as you with my book. Yeah, totally. Well, with Justin, we took a different route. I mean, we were working at his speed and all that sort of stuff, but we both assisted him in getting it into reality. Karina says, did I understand it correctly that you need to get permission for including quotes such as inspirational quotes? What if the person is deceased? I know, Karina, inspirational quotes with famous people are okay. We were saying about someone said something and then...
Yeah, if you're taking words from an interview or from an article or a book or something, then you do need permission.
Yeah. So inspirational quotes, guys, all good because we see them in so many books, don't we? And they're a really good one to start off a chapter with, don't you think? Yeah, I love having the little... What are some things, maybe tell us, components inside the book? I know I love putting testimonials at the front, at the back. What else?
I think about the structure of your book as in terms of chapters or sections.
Yeah.
So that it's you want to make it easy for someone to read. So, say if someone's reading the book before they go to bed, they might want to read one chapter. Yeah. So don't make the chapters too long.
Of course.
And then depending on what the book's about, you can break it up into different sections or chapters or parts. I always think of those things and making it easy on the eye, like having bullets here, maybe a table or a diagram there, like just having lots of things to break it up. And I couldn't, I've got this one book that I bought, it's 400 pages, and I really would love to read it. It's called Mastery by Robert Greene. And I started reading it over Easter and I only got through 80 pages. The writing is so small, I lose where I'm at. I think the content's fantastic, but when I look at it, I just get daunted by it. Yeah.
So, make it easy, fun, and practical books. I like when people give me things to do.
Yeah, and don't think that you have to be a fantastic writer either.
Yeah. I didn't speak English until the age of 14, so I wrote 3 books.
Yeah, and quite a lot of people like that sort of conversation tone in the writing, so it works.
Yeah, and definitely when you transcribe it, it's conversational.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I write the way I speak, and it's just whatever's coming out of my head. Thanks, Justin. Great webinar. Leah is saying, I don't have content written yet, and when I do, I will book in one of your quarterly weekends. Thanks for sharing this tonight. You're welcome, Leah. You don't have to actually have the content written for the weekend. That's what we actually do and help you with. So it's not just people who are ready to publish. It's actually, this is starting from ground zero, zero, before ground zero. Julie Alexander says, a friend wants to write a book setting the story straight on what has been written in the press about him, what really happened. Does that leave him open to being sued even though it's his truth? His story?
Yes. You have to be very careful about what you put out there because his truth is it's not someone else's truth. So, and even if it's true, and someone doesn't want to know about it, they will accuse you of lying.
Yeah, because there's always so many sides to the story, isn't there?
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful, and reality is not really reality. It's just whatever we make out of it. Judy said, where is the venue for the weekend? We're picking that towards the end of this month once we know exact numbers. We're definitely, going. We're researching a couple of different venues. It will be Victoria-based, somewhere within 2 hours drive from Melbourne. So that's where it would be. So I can't wait. I'm leaving that ball in my husband's court because he's my planner and my virtual assistant who gets all of these little things done and organised for me. You're welcome, Judy. Yeah, it'll be great to chat to some of you guys. It's something that I reckon is going to go off, and we're just going to do it over and over and over again. So I can't wait.
I'm very fun. I'm almost wanting to come on this.
I know. Yeah, you can come. We can give some tips. You can be like another mentor there. That would be fun. I really can't wait, and I'm sure we're going to have like a big night on the Saturday night. We'll plan something special. I first say yes. Then I work out the how, I said, let's do this. This is a fantastic idea. I've done it before, and it's going to work. And if you're anything like, if you don't know me, I get things done for sure. All right, if there's no more questions, we're right at 9 o'clock. We appreciate you joining us for the call. Thank you, Blaze, so much for sharing your expertise
You're
and
welcome.
taking us down the rabbit hole of self-publishing. And for any last questions, you guys can always email us and or phone us or whatever it is that you want to do. Lots of thank yous coming through. Thank you, Julie, for your time and advice. Emily, thank you guys, very inspiring. It's been a pleasure, and I will email through the recording for all of those guys that missed it. We're now down to the wire. Join us next week for Justin's interview. It's sure to be an awesome night. And thank you, Chris. Very informative and valuable. And thanks, Judy. You're more than welcome. So I'll switch off. Go enjoy your night with the families, and we'll catch you at some stage very soon. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.